Perth Racing Preview is where the straight-up team finds you the winners at Belmont Park. All the fixed odds markets are from Tab Touch.
Yes, welcome along to the Perth Racing Preview. G'day, McGinnity.
Oh, Mart.
How are you?
Hello, champion.
Oh, you well?
Yeah, wonderful. Hello, Rolls.
Hello, Braddles.
Wonderful.
How's the week been?
Pretty excited to be here.
Yeah, you'd have to be.
You look it. I like it. I like this. There's a good vibe in the room this afternoon.
Isn't there?
You're in nice and close, not out the back in the ledger.
Huddled up.
A bit warmer here than out in the Avon.
What are we going to do with Weather Track and Rail on Saturday? You guys are going to find this very difficult, aren't you? There's rain that's around and then it's clearing up on Saturday.
Got a heap overnight too, so went through this morning and trimmed a few muddies because the track looks like it's probably going to be, what do you reckon, Rolls, a 7 or an 8 or something like that?
Oh, the rain it copped last night and this morning you'd think so, but what was it saying a bit earlier? Only had 2.4 millimetres since 9 a.m. I find that hard to believe.
Oh, yeah, that's bomb, not the track. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought that was a track.
No.
Okay.
So at the moment, a heavy 8. We're at 6 metres, and let's have a look. 21 mil last 24 hours, 38 mil last 7 days.
There we go. Yeah, it'll be a soft 7, I would say, especially if there's a few scattered showers tomorrow, which is forecast as well.
Just depends where they lob, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, the Rories. Okay, what are you expecting out there on Saturday, McGinnity?
Oh, I see.
Firstly, how was Plummies?
Yeah, that was very good.
Good day out?
May have got a touch out of hand later on, but it was very enjoyable.
It is.
Was looking forward to catching up with Martin Duppy there on court. Couldn't find him. Looked around.
No.
Nowhere to be seen.
It's a bit behind the 8 ball today, the Dup.
Hasn't fired in yet on that Retrovision text, so you better get that.
Hasn't pulled the trigger yet. 0427 789 571. Get involved. It's a Perth Racing Preview. About to get underway.
Just before we do, the $100,000 Coolgardie Tyre Service Coolgardie Cup on Sunday, and Admiration Express, as expected, has opened up favourite. Did it open up at 250?
Yeah, this market
6 to 4 now.
This is a fresh market.
Yeah, beautiful.
Fresh.
Boof from the Mount Henry. Love hearing from Boof. Sits in the sports bar there, has a nice cold beer and tunes into Tab Radio on a Thursday afternoon. Hope the team have been giving McGinnity plenty of pats on the back this week after some brilliant pricing last week. Deserves a statue, that bloke, but maybe at KFC, not Belmont.
Yeah, Boof. On your Boof.
Got away with one too, didn't you, early on? all of a sudden, the big Bravo's just running around and hitting his head. You would have gone, I've dodged another bullet. The AK-49's coming right at me.
He needed another sighter.
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed he's $1.36 this week, so you've latched on now well and truly.
Yep.
What was it about that effort last Saturday that impressed you?
I just love the intent in which he strolled off the track under double wraps with a handler.
Give the barrier gate a good double header. That impressed you.
We better keep this one a bit safe this week.
Okay, let's start it off, and we'll talk about the race. The good horses in Perth Racing now hiring casual staff.
On your
Chance
mark.
for you.
On your mark.
Yeah, you got your service. What is it?
There you go, Duppy. Duppy could get a job.
Mart finishes his shift at Hay Street at about midday, and then stroll to
Right there.
Ascot and do his best.
Lord Gannigas, you've got a photo of me there doing a bit of work in the Hay Street Mall, I see too. Lord Gannigas.
I've got more than one photo of you, Mart.
$14. Sophia's Symphony is 7 into 6. Under Influence, 750 into 550. Ain't No Other Man is 18 into 13. Bravo Centurion, 165 into 145. With the scratching of Song Ha, how did that affect the market?
Song A, the People's Horse, was about the $6 range. There might be a deduction there. Bravo Centurion, they were still keen early. There's been that money early, the $1.65, $1.55. Plenty of 500s, plenty of 300s, a 600 and a 50 there. Someone keen had a little crack at the $1.38 a little while ago, just before the drift out. They can double up. Ain't No Other Man, a bit of pro-Eastern States money. Aside from that, very little to speak of, Rolls.
Yeah, I don't think we'll need too much time to go through this one, Bradley. Bravo Centurion, as we touched on, scratched last week, ran them ragged 14 days ago now. Stopped the clock over 6 lengths faster than graduation class average on that heavy track. It was, very impressive. Carries even less weight. And while this is a bit deeper, I think he should be able to get across. Ain't no other man, but worst case scenario, sits outside him in the breeze, and don't think that'll worry him whatsoever. I think he's the horse on the rise, and he'll prove too good. Just, not a betting proposition at that short quote. Interesting, just want to ask you, Pike rides Lord Gannicus instead of Under Influence, who he rode last start. It's a bit of an interesting little switcheroo.
It was a super trial, wasn't it? But really interesting placement. But we'll see what happens. No reason to ever doubt that camp, is there? So
good trial.
Yeah, it can't
really
be.
Good
it
trial.
Cannot be queried, that trial. And this one thing you did say that's just spot on, Rolls. This is a stronger edition than what Bravo was running into last week.
I agree.
A fair bit stronger.
He needs to do it again. Needs to front up and tick the box again. But
Under Influence on the back up?
For the third week in a row?
No?
Flying.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a stronger field than what he was able to gun down last weekend, I think.
Yep.
By a margin.
Yeah.
Plenty of respect for Sophia's as well, which stretched the neck of, I think, Ginnivan.
Disappointing thing is we just didn't get to see him on a slightly firmer track, and now he'll be back into a softer.
We're just going to...
Hasn't exactly been... it hasn't hindered him this prep.
No, that is for sure. Race number 2, the Liberties Insurance. Oh, look, there's text lines going crazy. We're getting pings. Yes, we are. Got him again with Iowa. He's unbelievable.
He took the early 382, Peng. Well punted.
And also our good mate Brad Short, who tipped 4 in a row there last week. And I think the return on investment was something like...
5 if you count the late scratching.
No, you can't
Money
count
back.
the late scratch. Money.
Shorty does.
Money back. Yeah.
You can count that.
So he continues to tip winners for fun as well. So we go to race number 2, the Liberties Insurance Handicap over the 2,100 metres. And one flash paddy of 462. Queen of Jerusalem, 420 to 380 after opening at 390. Thorogood, 910, 850. Master Tactician has been $6. Burnbrae, fast becoming the people's horse, isn't it? 420 into 310. You'll tip it again. Red Dwarf is 12. Blue Card is 23, and come a little bit closer.
The
$31.
people's horse. Burnbrae, the people's horse.
Well, it's one for 20.
Thanks for looking straight at me when you said Red Dwarf as well, Mart. I've got feelings, and I don't have red hair. Burnbrae, the pros are keen. A couple of $800 bets there.
Hey.
420, $4, 380.
Have it again.
They're still coming. Thorogood.
Champion.
Some sharp money Thorogood there early as well. A little bit of money Master Tactician, that's starting to build up too, but Burnbrae, this is one of the better goes of the day so far, gents.
You know I don't like these races, Marty.
Yeah, I know.
I've said it how many times, but we're getting involved here.
Really?
We're getting involved here.
Because our mate Peng's involved as well, and he's a staying... He loves these staying events.
Yeah, she's going to get me again. Burnbrae. I'm pretty keen here. She's flying since joining Tony Triz. I like the platform for her now. Up to the staying trip, third up. She just didn't get the room when she needed it last start behind Hemlock Stone when luckless, and I think she looks ready to win up in distance now. A few little knocks around the other horses hard in the market around her at the moment, and I thought, would have been the $3.80 that was available a bit earlier would have been a bit more of an attractive betting proposition. I think she's going to prove very hard to beat in the second event on Saturday, boys.
Did you mention Blinkers Off?
Blinkers Off, yes. I didn't really factor that in too much. I went and watched that replay to see if she did get a little bit keen in the run last time out, but nothing too sort of strenuous or to write home about anyway.
I'm extremely concerned about the form behind Burnbrae in that last start. That's sort of the reason why I just want a little bit of a better price. But so not quite as keen as everyone else, but gee, they are lining up. There's a lot of punters very keen Burnbrae.
Is it because of the Triscari stable?
Not necessarily. I think it's just the body of work, isn't it, Rolls?
I think so, Brad.
Form's on the board.
The form's on the board, yeah.
Couple times in a row.
She doesn't get beaten 3 lengths by Hemlock Stone if she gets clear at the top of the straight.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, it's the unlucky runner syndrome.
But Master Tactician, this is just got the makings of a pretty nice staying type going forward. This is one I'm very, very interested in looking at if it does drift, which it sort of really hasn't yet. And Flash Paddy up the top for me is getting to a really nice price to play as well, I think.
It's the way Peng's involved. He's all over Flash Paddy.
Well, there you
all
go.
over it.
We got a bit of a difference of opinion here. This is good.
Yeah.
Master Tactician, big respect, and yeah, he's just progressing so nicely at this early stage of his career. Do you see many Rommels get out over the staying journey, Marty?
Oh, well, there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to stay. He was, won a Guineas to a mile, and depend on.
I just can't think of any that have really
Probably
flourished
not.
over those longer trips.
One to keep an eye on, Red Dwarf. William booked, obviously, is always gets you having a closer look, but that run last start was much better than it may read on paper.
Okay. Race number 3.
You're looking up breeding pages again, Mark.
No.
You're not allowed to do that at work.
Race. The Morley Grass Market played over the 1,400 metres. Time to go 124. Battle Commander is 8 into 7. Mean Machine 383.30. Gold Maker is out. Arcadia Park 230 into 205. Think Like a Winner 71.61. Come $41. Jackpot Bingo is 11. Favoured Son is 34 from 51. Secret Intent is 9. Fun in Hollywood is 91, and Rosie Can Run at $26.
Gold Maker scratching, Mark.
I said that,
deductions.
Gold Maker.
Deductions?
Yeah.
None.
Right.
Just so you know.
Yeah, it's good.
Thanks,
Keep our
mate.
listeners up to date.
Arcadia Park. Punters keen early. 1,500 at the 230, 1,000 at the 220. Mean Machine, 800 at the 380. Good each way snipping Favoured Son. And, no one swallowed up that early sort of price, so that's on the drift.
Cool. What did Marty say?
I call it Come.
That's right. Arcadia Park does look like a very deserving favourite, Bradley, and the market certainly reflects that here. He was horribly held up in the straight last time out over this trip behind Bondi Bay, who I do think is a really nice horse on the rise, and he still wasn't clear with 150 metres to go, but when he did finally get clear, he got to the line like he would have had a say in that finish with even luck on straightening. He gets Pike on board for Troy Turner, maps for the run of the race from barrier 4 or close enough to it, and I just didn't think he needed to overcomplicate this too much. I think he's going to prove very hard to beat. The 205, I don't think there's any real great value there, but he's a very deserving favourite. There's certainly some depth to this race, though, outside of him. Secret Intent. How about this run on debut?
Ooh, flashing lights.
Went around a huge price, drew widest, 14 of 14, and got to the line super, like 1,400 metres would be very suitable at her next start. And, little knock for me, the fact she's likely to end up last or near enough to from the barrier, spotting Arcadia Park a decent head start. But, she looks a nice playing God filly, Secret Intent.
Yes, I concur. Isn't it funny that the opinions game side of things, I didn't want to lay Arcadia Park early, so I thought I'll get this as short as I could possibly get it and put it up, and they've snapped it up straight away.
And they're still going.
Punter's very keen.
Oh, you're a genius.
And, apparently not. Yeah.
Any knocks on the favourite?
This is... There's a bit in this race, I think. There's a bit of talent going forward in this race. Even a horse like Jackpot Bingo, I think, has got a share of ability there.
Agreed.
Secret Intent, we're speaking about that. No one's missed that. Mean Machine. Now that it's got it's run, the confidence up, runs on the board, and one thing we'll say, I'm pretty sure it beat a very nice horse last start, Rolls.
Schmoove.
Yes, Schmoove Mover. Yeah, big raps on that horse. But I concur with you regarding Jackpot Bingo. Really like those trials. blinkers on. They scratched from a winnable race Wednesday to save for this, and looks a nice horse in the making as well.
Race number 4, the Tab Touch Westby Platinum Handicap, over the 1,200 metres. Start time here at 3 minutes past 2 o'clock. And 1 Divine Flirt 20, 2 Keep Attacking 320 into 270. Lover Session 380. Ultimate Command 16 out the 19. Number 5 Elbow Lounge 10. 6 He's Gold is 14. 7 Cocktail Party is 10. 8 Elite 1 650 from 850. Number 9 is Champese 15. 10 Requisition 51 from 71.
Mart.
What?
Champ Easy's after your old mate Easy Champ. Elbow Lounge, 1,000 places at $3. Keep Attacking, 1,000 at the 320. Another 500 at the $3. Elite 1, Eastern States Pro Money at the $8.50. And plenty more 250s Keep Attacking. It's been a pretty good go. Almost meerkat worthy, Mart.
Yeah, of course it is.
What did you?
Gay's just put herself over the jumps. Look at this. Don't do this at home, kids. What's happened to the great lady?
She's moving well.
Yeah.
Bit of pep in her step at the moment. What did you make of the run, Brad, last weekend of Keep Attacking behind Silver Eye?
I thought it was, rock solid. Yourself?
270 favourite, rock solid?
Probably not. Opinions game.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think it's rock bottom odds. It was a solid effort without being outstanding, and you get Pike back on board for the first time since winning on him first up this campaign. But yeah, just Patron of Kings went by him. King of Keed from a maiden win just about went by him
and
late.
Last, yeah.
I just think, won't get me. I'm happy to take him on at that quote. Elite 1 may as well have not gone around last weekend. It wasn't exactly mentioned at all in the Stewards report, but I watched the head on and he never really got clear galloping room in the straight at all. And Brad Parnham was never able to really fully test him either because of that as well, just trying to find a bit of wriggle room to move. And given, Keep Attacking's 270 and he's there at 650 and there was 850 available a bit earlier, I think he's clearly the current value in the market for mine, and don't mind how this race maps out for him either. So I think Elite 1 each way is a valid play in this race, and I want to back Elbow Lounge, but just what Marty said and touched on a little bit earlier, he's won from 16 and he's had a fair few chances. That's certainly the case, but I thought his run fresh under the 3 kilo claimer after settling in a different suburb was super. And then you get a senior jockey aboard the run under the belt and a barrier this time around. So, I think if Elbow Lounge was to creep out any further, I'd be inclined to have something on him as well.
Tough to argue on. I can't stop there in regards to chances that I can look at depending on track conditions, etc.
You have a lot of trouble stopping.
Love a session if it gets
going.
to that. He's up and about today, Mart.
I reckon he's on
he's on an extra 100 per mention of all those studs today, and that's why he's just getting through them.
100, come on.
We've just had our sponsorship renewed with the Hong Kong Jockey Club.
I think we're not going to be giving them a good push.
Anyway.
He's like the pumper after he won the Melbourne Cup. He's just on his bed, just doing it.
Which one? Which cup? Now, Ryan from Warnbro, he's texting. After Iowa's win last week, is McGinnity going to risk him in the Calgary Cup because his trainer can't train stayers?
That's a bit harsh for Ryan to say.
I think you said it on this program, didn't you? You doubted whether or not the trainer was any good at training stayers.
You've taken a bit of poetic licence there.
But are you going to risk it when the Calgary Cup market goes up? For a bloke that's lost
his licence 6 times, that's... I'm not sure I said that at all. I think what I alluded to is that he prefers the sprinter miler types.
Right.
But didn't I half tip it last week?
I don't think you did.
Didn't I go
Peng tipped it. Peng was the only one on the... and McGinnity. Not McGinnity, Bradley. He tipped it.
Oh, we actually had Iowa's trainer on the show, on the drive show a bit earlier in the week. And
what did he have to say?
He said that This stayer that he's got at the moment is better than Senor de Gama.
De Gama,
who was a very nice stayer back in the day.
Yeah,
so there's a bit of an opinion.
Yeah. Oh, well.
They love him.
Like Galileo. If you heard of him. Have you?
No, I haven't heard of him, no.
I met him once in Ireland.
Did you pay the service fee?
Oh, no. He how would you say he deserved to be a stallion?
I don't know how you qualify those things.
So what are we doing in the fourth?
I'll wait and see. Even a horse like his Gold, if the track conditions are right, could make a case love a session. If it got to that really sloppy bottomless track like it got to last start, I'm confused, Rolls.
Yeah, I'm not strong in my convictions here, Marty, but I think Elite One and Elbow Lounge are a bit of value currently.
Race number 5, as we start to push on into the better races on the card. The Mrs. Max, 60 plus, over the 1300, an Excel train for Oakland Park, 19 into 18. Influencing is 11 into 9. No brainer. Gee, the stable hasn't it hit a bit of form? 440, 420, deferred. 230. Jellican Runs, $9. Starring, $9.21. False Statement, $61. Lost City, $4.40. And Dark Missiles, $51.
No brainer, 400 at the 440. Lost City, a couple of 250s there at the 440. Deferred, plenty of rank and file money there, and some sharp money influencing a couple of local pros there. Lost City, Bradshaw labelled it a group horse. I think we had him on the podcast.
Calgary Railway Stakes winner, wasn't it?
Why can't I find her in that all-in market?
It just quietly, it may have trolled like a group horse. It's a super troll. But we've got to assume Shorty will be keen.
He's tipped it. Yeah.
He's tipped it, yeah.
He's angelic didn't exactly frank that trial for him yesterday.
True.
Really good races. We should be able to get through all of it before we get out to Northam for race 6. But yeah, this is a really good race. And Deferred lost no admirers with her run in defeat last start, Brad, on a pretty bottomless, heavy track. Sat last off a very slow tempo. The winner was up front dictating and controlling. Second horse was on speed as well, and she's ripped home in some very strong late splits for the conditions, and we've seen Category 3 already, a subsequent winner through that race as well to frank the form. So the map looks potentially a little sticky, but think she should be able to post up with a couple behind her in running here, worst case. And you just go through all her runs this campaign, and Silver Eye, Hemlock Stone have only continued to frank that form around her through the preparation. So I have to put her on top, but with that slight little map query from that awkward draw, she's well enough found at the $2.30, and that won't get me for a bet. But yeah, I think she'll be very hard to beat with even luck.
Cracking race. Looking forward to watching it.
Peng's involved. He's gone with the favourite. He doesn't like tipping favourites, and he was very upset with what happened with Captain Pluto last Saturday. It came into $1.40. It's ridiculous. He would never have tipped it at that price, you know that.
Right.
But he is with
Does he want a written apology, or what's his...
Well, he felt very guilty, particularly when it got beat, because that's what happens when you tip real short price favourites. They tend to get beat. You're on a hiding to nothing. And you're right, Brad has tipped Lost City here, and Peng is with Deferred. Little drop back in distance, no concern for Deferred?
Nah,
no.
Not really. Not for me.
No.
The one I can see improving is Influencing, who was never suited down the straight 5 at Pinjarra first up and got in a bit of a bumping duel.
Checkered passage.
Found himself completely blocked for a run late and having to duck back to the inside, which is never ideal down the straight. And I thought the trial prior to that, Marty, was really strong. So with a much better run here from the barrier up to 1,300 metres, with Clint Johnson-Porter on board replacing Tash Faithful, I think he can certainly improve.
And we got up to race number 6, and it is a Glenroy Chaff handicap over the 1,400 metres, and one Playhouse Patron is $8.50 from 7. Desert Nymph, $2.20 into $2.25, or out to. Corn Cob, $26 into $15. little bit of specking. Brave Strikers, $4 firm. Hoist the Colours, 51. Honeydew, 11 into 9. Cruise to Victory, 394.40. Zero to Merits, $41.
The little whiplash meerkat there for Corn Cob Mart. Thank you very much.
26 in the fifth. No, I would have had it at 26. I can't.
Always.
Yeah, 33.
Always appreciate your opinion in pricing markets.
Sweet, mate.
Very good.
Yep.
500 Honeydew at the 10, couple of hundred Honeydew at the 11. That's really pretty much it. That Corn Cob Action Mart is pretty much just the markets merging. The markets merging, you know. Yeah. And this is that
old chesty.
So this is the first leg of the quad, isn't it? So how's that comp going, Mart?
Yeah, it's going to happen. You and
really looking forward to it. Plenty of feedback.
There's been quite a few texts. All keen. They're ready to go.
Very keen.
What's the date today? The 5th. I'd say at this stage we look at the 19th. Yeah.
2025. It's just really coming along quickly. This.
I like people when they ring me when I'm on air. That goes to show they don't listen to Tab Radio.
Is it Peng?
No, it's not.
Duffy?
No. He's a racing man, though.
He's a busy man.
So what are we doing here? Race number 6, first leg of that Barbaro Butcher's quaddie. And
there might be another sponsorship opportunity, mate.
There you go.
Yeah,
it might be more 100 a throw type activity.
He's been unloading those bags of cash from the Hong Kong Jockey Club.
There's another stallion standing.
Is it? We missed one?
Somewhere in Gidgee, yeah.
We've got one to come in. You mentioned his name earlier. I think Rommel. There should be a bit of action for him soon, do you think?
Like a bit of Rommel action.
Yeah. Okay, what about some Glenroy Chaff action here?
A bit of Shaft action.
Any opinion on the race here, Rolls? Because it's one that, I'm pretty... that market as it stands, it's sort of really hard to just...
I had Desert Nymph and Brave Strike clearing out from the chasing pack here in my market, personally. Desert Nymph has come of age this prep. She's doing things right, racing tractably, letting down powerfully with that turn of foot that she's always suggested she's had, but now it's consistent, isn't it? And she's turning up and doing it time after time. So she gunned down a very good horse with some class in Other One Son last weekend and held off a very much informed mare in Sentimental Bell as well. While she takes on the 1,400 metres for the first time, she's racing like it won't hinder her. She does back up off the 7 days like she's yet to do in her career. But for mine, she brings the strongest form line into this and is one of the most informed horses going around on Saturdays at the moment. So I think she's a very deserving favourite. But in saying that, the barrier is interesting. Where does she get to? I think Chris will just be happy to keep her out of trouble and settle her back unless the pattern has really shown that isn't the place to be by this stage of the day. Brad, with Desert Nymph. I love the soft draw for Brave Strike, who has a really sharp turn of acceleration. That cuddled up run with a split is perfect for her if she can see daylight when she needs to. She got home in the fastest last 200 metres of the meeting last start when she was edged out by Mama Tembu, getting right off the speed in an incredibly slowly run race. Holly potentially having some traffic to navigate is a slight concern, but she's likely to have a start on Desert Nymph once they turn for home, I would have thought. I had them well and truly at the head of my market. Cruise to Victory at around that 440, I think I couldn't get him anywhere near as short as he is, even with Pike, but that the team goes all right from time to time, Marty, so a huge egg likely loading.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've just had a text, and this really sits me back. It's breaking news from one of our good listeners, who I rely on for information, right?
One of our good listeners.
In the AFL. One of our astute listeners. He says, and I'm going to quote this, "I pretty sure Stewart is out." Now, I'm not going to give your name up, Graham, because I'm not going to tell everyone who it is.
He hasn't sent that to you, has he? You're making that up.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that was just about do me.
So they were $1.48 when we announced it. They hovered around $1.48, then went to $1.38, my good friend.
You'd think something might have happened.
Oh, no.
Oh, how good.
Now, another text here, Marty. You're not tipping Brave Strike. You tip every Brave smash horse known to man. That is from Larry doesn't leave a name.
Good text, Larry.
It's a fair text, and I get it.
Larry from Les Murdy.
But Larry, I don't like them on wet tracks. They're Japanese horses. They tend to go better on top of the ground. So that'd be my reason why. But the trainer's a very good trainer.
He is.
Larry.
Of
horses, stayers, sprinters, whatever.
All top jumpers.
He would be able to train a Grand National winner. The man is a genius. You listening in, Si?
In case there was any ambiguity as well, we've had another member of our fraternity text in and say, just to confirm, boys, Stuart is out for the Cats and Kerno is not in for the Blues. Just confirm. So thank you very much for that, Petter. Great text.
Brilliant.
Do you guys sell waffles or just talk it? That's from Paul Cook.
Oh, that's a good text, Paul. Yeah, one of the greats, Paul Cook. He has stood the test of time. Spotted last Sunday night at Amarin Restaurant in Subiaco, where he's been frequenting for about 30 years. The menu, the restaurant and cookie all haven't changed.
You've opened a can of worms here, Marty, with this text line.
Have I? That's unusual.
Hey, boys, just tuned in. Noticed that Port Adelaide are into it.
What?
Are into $1.38 for tonight's game. Any idea why the short price?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Stewart's out. 4, 6, 2 and 8. Moonraker Miss wins. Bradley Mitchum, 280 and 2. Chill Out, 370. And Aeroplane Penny is third, no third. Quinella rate 90, exactor $18. Trifecta 71.10. First 4, 4, 6, 2 and 8, $236.40. Okay, now we move on to race number 7, the Schweppes Handicap over the 1,200 metres. And this race is due to go at 3:49. And one defending is 18. 2 Sentimental Bell, 340 into 290. 3 Sunny Honey, 19. 4 Leniency, 11. 5 Mama Tembu, 13. 6 Multiverse, 23. Spect In from 31. Snippy Witch, 8 to 750. Taropa is 260. Santa Bray, 51 to 34. And Amelia's Belief, $26.
Yeah, smart as per that meerkat you just gave me. Sentimental Bell, that's the one. 1,000 there at the 330, another 1,000 at the 310. Leniency, some good sharp money there. A couple of $250 bets there. And plenty more rank and file type activity there too for Leniency. And some sharp money multiverse, Mart. Big price as well. Taropa.
Taropa.
Like me at any social occasion after 4 p.m. Friendless.
Is it? Really?
Friendless.
Why would that be?
Not a Jats.
I heard a few things about last weekend. I think it was started a bit earlier than 4 p.m.
Standard.
A little mobile barrier start there. 4 from 4. What has this mare done wrong?
Nothing.
Maybe that little gap between runs.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Can she take the next step?
I think so. This is her toughest test to date, off for that month between runs, which she has proven previously isn't an issue for her in performing well. She's won off a very similar spacing already in her career, off a little virus as well. She got the job done last time, Marty. I think in fashion that was a little, people might say a little underwhelming for her quote.
Tradesman-like.
With the run she had. Yeah. This field has certainly got a lot more depth to it than the field she put away there. Barrier 1 can track up leaders back. You wouldn't want to get pocketed given the horse is likely to settle around her. I will say that. The other horse is on speed, but she's a watch for me on Saturday, Brad, but she's not one that I'm going to launch into something to get her beat or really have any sort of strong want to tip against.
Yeah, it's. I'm with you. Last start to me looked a bit. I don't think that would have been the horse's best performance on what we've seen of the horse so far. So maybe a bit of a flat one. So there could have been some excuses there, or for whatever reason, I suppose we'll never know. But I think the horse is certainly better than that performance. So that might be the reason behind the lack of activity so far.
That's why I kind of like the freshen up as well, because maybe the horse was a bit flat last start, and You know, you don't want to, with a horse with the ability that she's got, you just give her a bit of extra time to recover from that run, freshen up a bit, and yeah, hopefully she can take that next step like you suggest she may be able to, Marty.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's a very likeable type.
Where are you with Sentimental Belle?
She was good last weekend. She was a winner off the 7 days earlier in her prep, but I thought personally her turn of foot wasn't as profound on that drier soft 5 surface to what she has been producing and racing on a bit earlier in the campaign. Would that be fair?
Yep. Agree.
So I think this rain around is certainly going to benefit her. She'll be happy with that. But yeah, that was my take on last weekend. But yeah, the rain that we have had and the expectation will be on a soft 7 or thereabouts compared to a soft 5 of what she raced on last week, certainly in her favour again.
Any money for defending it all? First up?
Not really. No, not really.
Right.
Other slow sort of profile speed map in this race as well, like Amelia's Belief. Maybe it's just not a heap of other pace in the race there rolls, which makes it a bit murkier.
Yeah, very.
Okay, race number 8, main event of the day, the Swan Draft. Farnley Stakes. Used to be a great lead-up for the Hannons. Is it still a good lead-up for the Hannons, this race?
Draft.
1400?
It sure is, Mark.
It is?
Yep.
Do you reckon we could get Swan Draft on as a sponsor of this show?
That would cause a few problems. May I say, Package Fidgets and KM, they don't mind having a little go at the Crownies on a work day afternoon.
Who made that bottle shop decision?
I don't know, but they're very keen on one. One Magnificent
Don't
Andy.
mind a brown soldier.
12
Brown Soldier.
Ginger Baker, 8 to 750. Minsk Moment 23. River Rubicon's 12. Triple J, 330 to 250. That's the meerkat of the day. The meerkat of the day. Captain Chaos is 41. Saloon Bar 7. Vastart 460 to 380. Eeyore Ways 61. And Weapon Sons $21.
Would you like some 330, sir?
No, I'm not. I haven't been on him. I can't jump on now. Have you been on him?
No, not really. But gee, Saturday.
I'd like to be on him.
This is the go.
It wins?
No, this is just the betting activity. Just
tell me if it wins,
huge
Brad.
stuff. 3,000 by 2,000, 2,000 by 1,000, another 1,000 wins. Fast Start, Eastern States Pro Money 400 by 1,000. Plenty of rank and fold. Triple J money there. Magnificent Andy, bit of local sharp money, 200 at $13. Even a bit of snipping at the big price Captain Chaos, leading to some pretty nice drifts about horses like Saloon Bar, River Rubicon, and Ginger Baker.
Can understand the support with the setup, Bradley.
Has this just been one of the better placed horses
Yep.
in the state going through the ranks?
Absolutely.
And now finds one that, to me, is considerably harder.
It is, but looks another terrific setup. Yeah, you bump into some higher quality horses that come through that different form line in the Idyllic Prince here, which is, certainly adds another element of interest. The horse that interests me is Vastart, who was a month between runs heading into that Idyllic Prince on a heavy surface, which I don't think suited him at all. I thought his effort was super. He loomed into it with pretty ominously on straightening before the conditions and maybe the gap between runs took their toll on him late. But he drops 4.5 kilos at the weights, gets 3.5 kilos on Ginger Baker for betting him home there. I think from the barrier, if Clint Johnson Porter can get him across and in without being posted, he's more than capable of giving this race a serious shake. And he's been a horse throughout the journey that I've always felt, and he's probably always promised with some of his performances, that he'd measure up and eventually be able to win a race of this nature one day.
100%.
So he's the one for me. I haven't been on Triple J all preparation, really, and I'm not hopping on now, but I have to pay huge respect to the setup, which is why I'm less inclined to really pile into Varstart with the respect for how well he's going and how this race maps out for him. But Varstart's the one that interests me from a betting perspective in this one.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. It's just very hard for me to map the horse in any sort of position. It's one of those really interesting early sort of tempo races where you have, maybe Ginger Baker and Triple J pressing forward and the rest of them just sort of grab their spots, don't they? So for me it was...
I think they have to... You just have to chance your arm and try and get in that with 4 or 5 behind you. Mm-hmm. Like Minsk Moment will go back. Eeyore Ways, I don't think they'll rouse Magnificent Andy along to hold a position first up with the 62 kilos. Captain Chaos from Barrier 9 will go back. I think there's that opportunity there if they really want it and they think this is the race. This is the one we should have a real crack at. Don't die wondering. Have a go and try and find a spot.
Yeah, I like it. I want to talk about one with you, Mart, which has been one of yours over the journey. River Rubicon. Pad's first time's a bit of a concern, but fresh form, any track any track conditions handled, it flies fresh, and really, when you really break down its form last prep,
it's got class.
If the same horse turns up, that turned up in some of those races, and that
doesn't mind the towing.
It's $12 plus around the traps.
I'm hearing you.
It'd be very easy to look at that after it wins the race and go, gee, how do we miss that?
Yeah, and that was like when it won in that, what did it win, the Pinjarra Classic?
First up. Yeah.
First up.
Beat
and it was,
Rocks.
You put up about $18 or something, didn't you, that day?
Yeah. And I think it started big.
I like how he somehow managed to... So morph that into just giving you a clip on the way through.
So I want to ask you a question here, and this is a serious one. Of this field here in the Farnley, who do you think would be going to the Goldfields for the Hannons and capable of winning it? River Rubicon?
I think a few of these.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is he weighted? I just have no idea of what their weight structures are like for these races anymore. He's rated at 94. Is that going to be too much for a Hannons? Or?
It'd be right up there, wouldn't it?
Varstart will go to a Hannons, you'd think.
Darren McAuliffe loves it up there in Calgary.
Triple J, you'd think, would go to a Hannons.
Well, if you keep it going, why wouldn't the Pierce brothers? So it just depends who noms, doesn't it? That's
what it comes down to.
What it comes down to, and they just move the rating of the race around to suit it. Is that how it works?
Who's going to be the top of the race?
Minsk Moment has won a Carbine Club, and Adam has said all the way through that he's just not racing at his top on these rain-affected surfaces. So getting to Kalgoorlie onto a dry track would certainly benefit him as well.
Okay. And I've got to say, the comeback from my good friend is a beauty. He's just texted and said, did you already know that Stewart was out? We may have guessed. We may have guessed.
Elko asks Bradley, Magnificent Andy, a nice price, great first up record. What are your thoughts?
Isn't it just having a cider to go around and then it goes to Melbourne? Didn't SJ say that on Aftermath?
It was a lovely trial, but just, how do you price a horse carrying that weight first up with bigger fish to fry?
Yeah, in saying that, it wouldn't surprise me if he were to win.
Right.
But I don't think they'll knock him around at all.
There's been some sharp money for it, but sharp enough. I'm not saying camp related, but certainly someone that does their form and knows their stuff thinks it's thought that early price was certainly attractive.
We're all inclusive here, mate. Doesn't matter where the money comes from.
They've definitely got some. They've definitely got some Melbourne aspirations with him in the pipeline.
Yep. Okay, the final of them, the Barbaro Butchers Quaddie, and yes, I think it'll be the 19th, September 19, we'll launch the big Quaddie competition.
They're all talking about it.
Yes, they're all bluing about 4 horses a leg and all that. Well, that's the way it is. They're the rules, right?
It's Mart's rules.
One fine touch. Well, who actually made the rules? You did, Riley.
No. You said to me there has to be some sort of limit we need to place on this.
Yeah.
So
but then Richie got upset because he'd like to have 8 by 1 by 2 by all that, but it's 4 by 4 by 4 by 4. That's it.
That's it. Well, you don't have to have all 4.
No.
But it's the max is 4.
Yeah. But it's a free comp. It's a free hit, so you'd put all 4 in, wouldn't you? One Fine Touch is 14. 2 Hemlock Stone, 330 to 280. You seem to be putting the Williams horses up quite generously this week.
Okay. Thanks for noticing.
Just something I've noticed.
Okay.
In Good Order, 8 to 750. 4 Manhattan Strip is 26. 5 Kerman Rock. How's yours? $15. 6 Pages. He's 31. 7 Simply 650. 8 Antique Star is 6. And number 9 Could Have Been at 19. 10 Ultimate Style is 41. Been specced in from very big odds there. Western Power, $9. And Yelling Up Girl is 18.
Antique Star. Yeah, they've lined up. Plenty of them early that quite keen, that early price. I'm surprised you didn't meerkat me for it.
No, it was $6.50.
You're a big fan of this horse, Mark. I like this horse.
You've meerkatted me for lesser. There's plenty of... there's 500 each way, 250 each way is there, times 3 for Antique Star. Local pro money, Hemlock Stone there. Nice $1,000 bet. Manhattan Strip, couple hundred each way at the big price, smart.
Mm-hmm.
And a bit of money for In Good Order as well. This is a cracking wide open affair, Ross.
Well, earlier in the program, you said you were a bit grey on the form in behind Hemlock Stone from that last start run. And is that based on the manner in which he was able to pretty much just murder them with the run he had?
Yeah, that's part of it, yeah. The track conditions on the day. And, but that was... I mean, you got to take it on face value. It was a super impressive victory, wasn't it?
It's one of the better wins I've seen in recent times, I think.
Oh, not as good as Bravo Centurion. Hey, Mart.
Last weekend.
Hey, Mart.
Well, we've got to push this through. We've got commitments coming.
We do. Yeah, he was incredibly good. Strong tempo, sat 3 deep, bit slow away. This is certainly stronger race, and with his racing pattern, there's a potential that he could find a bit of trouble. The 330 was certainly more appealing than the sub $3 available now with him. But with Kerman Rock likely marching them along, Bradley, I think that will suit him down to the ground. I think he'll be hard to beat, but he's not at a betting price for me at 280 currently. There's certainly some depth to this field. Antique Star reminds me a bit of Antique Miss with how she cruised up to them after settling last and put them away last start. Big step up this, but on the right trajectory and drops some big weight. Marty, one of yours?
Yes.
And In Good Order is another really nice horse for Danny Morton. Thought his first up run was terrific. Races like a horse who's only going to keep improving the further out in trip he gets. I'm a big fan, Bradley.
I've got one on the text line from Cameron from Wesley. He said, why does Mart always seem to like last start winners?
Because they tend... You know they're in good form. It's quite simple. You're using common logic. You know they're in good form because they've just won, and a lot of times horses in good form can win 2 in a row.
Don't need to look at me. That's on the text line.
Well,
Mart.
you read it out.
Yeah,
Want me to look at Riley while you read out the text?
That's fine.
You get nervous?
Not when you're looking at me. Other feelings go through me, but not nerves.
Mart's a big believer, Brad, in a horse with a good body of work behind
fair.
him.
Yeah.
Fair.
Now, the Greys are just coming out to go to the track. Now, this, you wouldn't believe how good the scheduling is, and we're not having a pot here at our mob.
You wouldn't believe it.
But they have got them dead heating. Race 2 from Northern Greys and Northern race number 7. But Northern race 7, I think will jump a little late if the Northern Greys could just hurry and get over there to the boxes and jump and run over the 279 or whatever it is. We should be able to get both live to air. Now, Peng's really confused me. He's written it in and he's gone in the last Western Star. Now, Peng, he wants a little bit of Western Power and a little bit of Antique Star, I think. You can have 2 tips.
He said the one in the 3 and white.
Don't have to hybrid them up. I know he has gone 9-8 Antique Star. So let's get our best bets for this meeting, because I've got plenty to work through. I've got Peng, I've got Brad, I've got lots of things to do here.
Race 2, Flash Paddy. Race 8 each way, River Rubicon.
You're Flash Paddy?
Yep.
Wow.
Wow. You kept that one quiet.
Yeah.
Race. I'm going to have a little bit race 9 Western Power as well each way. I think it'll drift out a little bit more, and I loved its run last week.
Race 2, number 5, Burnbrae. Race 4, numbers 8, Elite 1 and 5, Elbow Lounge.
Yep.
And race 8, number 8 in the feature, I'm going to be with Vast Art for DMAC.
Okay, Peng is 2-1 Flash Paddy, 5-4 Deferred, and 9-8 Western Star. So work that one out. And
isn't that a brand of butter or something?
I think it is, yeah. And now Belmont, this is for Brad Short in terrific form. Brava Centurion in the first, Burnbrae in the second, Arcadia Park race 3, race 4 Lover Session, race 5 Lost City, race 6 Cruise to Victory, race 7 Sentimental Bell, race 8 Triple J has to put Weapons Son in a place or he gets sacked by the boss, and race 9 Simply an Antique Star. He's going for a little bit of Quinella action.
Is his boss Grant Williams by any chance?
That's his boss, yeah. No, not Grant Williams, Grant Lillyman. Out there at Morley Mitsubishi in DVM.
Ching-ching. It's another 100 Mart.
The rabbit, there's royalties.
Yes, things are a bit tight in that game at the moment, but we'll be working on them very strongly coming into the into the pinnacles.
I bet.
McGinnity, you've been superb this afternoon. Whatever you've taken before today's show, you just remember the dosage.
Thanks.
And do it responsibly.
We hope you enjoyed another stimulating episode of Straight Up. All betting markets supplied by Tab Touch. All care, no responsibility went into the production of today's podcast.